Welcome to another exciting episode, an informative one as well, of Caribbean Classroom. Tonight's program, we're speaking reunion, class of 1970 reunion. It's a group of young people who at one time were even younger than they are today, and they have decided that they want to bring all of their colleagues and friends that they went to school with, who used to pinch each other under the table, put mirror on their shoes to see what's under the dress, stand up under the step and look up, tease the girls, eat their food, chase them around the block, things like that, fun stuff. Anyhow, we're not getting into that conversation as yet. Call somebody up. This is a live broadcast. I have to get you into the mood and talk about some of the things that are happening around us. My friend, I have a picture. There's a picture of me eating a piece of cake. My friend recently celebrated her 50th birthday, and that was part of the excitement and what have you. Her name is Louise. I have to say happy birthday, Louise. Happy 50th. You still look like you're 25, and you know all of the good stuff that goes with that. We do appreciate you for all of what you do, not just for your immediate family, but there's a lot of people who I know that you help, and me included, and I do want to say thank you. I also have to say, because I didn't do a show last month, so I also have to say thank you to my son, who recently turned 10. This is his big 1-0, and so he's into double digits now, and so generally comes in at the end of the program as we wrap up for the evening, and hopefully get here in time and so that he can get his moment on the screen. I have to say happy birthday, Sebastian. There are a few things happening. Guyana's election is coming up. Then we had a fiasco that took place in St. Kitts recently that I don't know what happened there. Then I recently read, even after the election now, that the former Prime Minister's visa was revoked. The United States revoked his visa. I don't know what's going on in our Caribbean country and with our elected officials. But anyway, there are two elected officials in Brooklyn, Yvette Clark and Hakeem Jeffries. They are going to probe, they want to probe into the Guyanese situation right now. And according to Carib News, that they're launching some kind of an investigative something into the dissolution of the National Assembly in Guyana. So we're waiting to see what the outcome of that is going to be. They made this week's front page of the Carib News. But the big one for me, the big one is in Queens. This is huge, because in recent, for some reason, the Queens politicians, it seems like they're going to the office and they serve one term in, like one of my crew members said earlier, they need to serve two terms, one in the elected office and the other term in jail. So far, it seems that that's what's happening, because on the front page of Communities of Color, we have Malcolm Smith indicted and guilty of bribery. Okay, that's not any new news, as far as some of us know. But then the one that strikes me really is Reuben Wills indicted again. As well as Bill Scarborough is also indicted, and he was removed as chair of, I forget which committee he's heading, but excitement among the Queens politicians like galore. And we don't know, I don't know what's really going on here. There's a bit of sad story or sad news that I have to report, sort of talk about a little bit. And this one has touched me and several of the circle that I move in tremendously. It's an 11-year-old child. 2 weeks ago, she turned 11. And she was a beautiful, energetic, smart, intelligent, active. Nothing stopped her. Her name was Immani. And Immani, that's Immani and her mother, Entradica, on the screen. If you can go back to the mother, please, the one with her and the mother. Go back. Yes, that's Entradica, that's her mother. And Entradica is a social worker. She worked with Visiting Nurse of New York, professional woman raising her daughter and her son. Was about to become, the final big thing and be married and all that good stuff. plans in the works and all of that good stuff. And then this tragedy happened. The child had an asthma attack and gave into it. They tried, I mean, she had the, how do you call the thing again, nebulizer. And so they did all of what they could do and knew to do. They had EMS was on the phone, 311 was on, 911 was on the phone, giving them the directions as to how to proceed. However, by the time they got to the hospital with her, she gave up the ghost, as we say, and Immani is no longer with us. Great loss. I don't know how to, and what to say to the mother who is grief-stricken. I mean, they have to be monitoring her right now because she is going through hell. I mean, for those of you with one, and I mean, I cringe at the parents who have one child and dealing and having to deal with something like this. You know, here she is with her Nets, Brooklyn Nets, not New Jersey anymore. The Brooklyn Nets T-shirt showing off her stuff. She was involved with everything. She did not allow the fact that she has asthma to interfere with any activities. And she played basketball. She was on the dance team. She was involved with everything. Just an energetic child and just curious and asking a million questions about everything and anything. She was just that wonderful kind of a child, and it's just so sad that. And I said, you know, in a post that I did on my page, why do we have to die, and why do we have to die so young and so sudden and so, oh God, I mean, death, you never prepared for it. You never prepared for it. But anyway, there is a site. Those of you who might know the family or might be interested, if you go to GoFundMe. .com/Immani, you're able to make a contribution to the family there as well. You can do that. Okay, I'm going to go for a quick break, and when we come back, I'm going to be talking to our two guests who are here this evening, who will be telling us about the combined reunion, embracing the past, empowering the future. I have in studio with me, should I tell you who they are now? Or when we come back, we're going to introduce them and you will meet them officially and formally. We'll be right back. Take a look at this, a little bit of culture from Grenada. And tonight is all about Grenada. Take a look at this. We'll be right back. Roll tape. Anyway, that was one of the Grenadian cultural groups. I think it's a national dance company from Grenada. I stole this off of Gentleman Culture Share. And I encourage you to go to Culture Share. And he has a wealth of footage and performances of all kinds on his page, on his YouTube channel. You could pull, I played this on purpose as to remind you, those of you who were here in the New York area and in Grenada, Culture Share was very, very popular back in the 80s, early 90s, and so on, with Paisadi as the host, and the man behind it, Gentle Ben, and his brother, Roland Benjamin, who recently passed. And so a little taste of Grenadian culture, if you will, that was the ballet. It's a popular colonial African mix kind of a dance. Anyhow, tonight it's celebration. It's a celebration of sorts. I have with me in studio two of the organizers behind this joined or combined reunion that is taking place in July 30th through August 5th. That's the Grenada 2015 Alumni Week Committee, and we're celebrating the 70s. All students who went to secondary schools in Grenada at the time, and there was about 15 of the, also about just
18.
About 18. All right. Tonight there's a lot of corrections going to take place. And so that those of you who are from Grenada, who know of people who are from Grenada, who know friends and family from Grenada, encourage them to tune into the program tonight, but more importantly, encouraging you, as you will be finding out shortly, as to how to sign up and join up for the reunion. Tonight I have, well, my cousin is in the studio. I have not seen him in about 20 years. He went home and got involved with politics, and so then here is Mr. Jerry Hopkins is here. Welcome to Caribbean Classroom.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
And next to Jerry is the woman behind it, is like the engine. Like, you know, there's the engine and there's the man inside of the booth operating the engine. Well, she's the engine as well as the man behind the engine. In this case, it's the woman behind the engine.
That's right.
Frances Purcell.
That's right.
No stranger, no stranger. Welcome to Caribbean Classroom.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Sweetie, tell me, first of all, why do we need this reunion? Why now? Why are we doing this reunion now?
Okay. So let me start off by telling you how this idea was born. Believe it or not, the idea was born in September 2014.
Last year?
Yes. And my girlfriend and I, who both are alum of the 1970s, were sitting on my dining table, and we were discussing having a reunion of the St. Joseph's Convent, St. George's, celebrating 40 years of our graduation. And
you went to St. Joseph's Convent?
Yes, I did. I'm an alum of St. Joseph's Convent, St. George's, and so is she.
Okay.
And we quickly changed gears and realized that there was need for something bigger than just a secondary school reunion. And we said, reunions come and reunions go. People travel to Grenada for fun and frolic, and after that's over, it's over, and everybody goes back to wherever they came from, and everybody forgets about Grenada. So we said, let us do a combined secondary school reunion. And so the idea was born. So the next thing was, how do we move forward with this idea and make it a reality? So I quickly said to her, we need to identify at least 2 people or 2 graduates from each of those secondary schools, and we're going to form a steering committee. So we did that, and we had our first meeting on October 18th, 2014. And we had a discussion as to whether or not people thought that this could happen so quickly. It was, a lot of people thought we didn't have enough time to plan such a massive reunion. And I thought we did. And I said, 2015 is as good as any other year, because next year, something else is going to happen. And in 2017, something else is going to happen.
And you're constantly
changing. Yes. Right. So let us push for this. And we went through the democratic process and took a vote. And 2015 won. So we went into high gear and began our planning process. And as we went along, we said, well, what is the theme of our reunion? And we said, okay, we're going to be embracing the past and we want to empower the future. So let's now involve our young people, our students. And we said, okay, we were our emphasis on the secondary schools, and we are graduates of the secondary schools. But we were in the primary schools before we were in the secondary schools. So let's not forget them.
All right. There's something that's going to happen about now. I want to just divert for you so we can make this change. Because, I mean, we're doing live television, so things happen as we make this change. No, I want to remember where you are.
Yes.
I'm coming back to you. You are watching Caribbean Classroom, and tonight we're talking a reunion. I thought you were a graduate from a long, long time ago.
Oh, yes, pretty long.
No, but I'm saying, I thought you were graduating, like, say, in the 60s. I didn't think of you as a 70s graduate.
Oh, Lord of mercy.
You know, so that when this conversation started, and you tell me 70s, and you say you, and you mention Pat.
Yes.
And I would not have equated you and Pat in the same school at the same time.
Oh, yeah, Pat Adams and I have been buddies for 45 years. We started to St. Joseph's Convent, St. George's, in the same year, 1970, and our friendship grew and blossomed, and we've continued our friendship through this day. And she lives in Atlanta, and I live in New York,
right.
and it was our idea.
That's the co-chair?
Yeah, she's the other co-chair with me.
Okay.
And we have a joke going. She said, I do the writing and some of the thinking. No, I do the thinking and the talking, and she does the thinking and the writing.
Oh.
So we make a great team.
Okay.
And so we decided that we needed to have something for the primary schools. And one of the things that drove us to do this is that we were quite concerned that we didn't have a public library on the island. And since the library was damaged in 2004 with Ivan.
With the hurricane.
Yeah, and something came up after that, but it never got back to what a library should be or ought to be. So we knew that there was a problem with our young people loving to read,
right,
and wanting to learn. So we decided that this was as good a time as any to try to bring our kids back and recultivate them into the love of reading and the love of learning once again. So that's how this primary school came into being, and we came up with the idea of Read Across Grenada Day.
Stop right here. Let's bring in Jerry. I don't want us to go too far. Jerry, what is your role in this?
Yeah, well,
because she answered my first question yet, but anyway, I go back to.
Well, as you mentioned, there is an organizing committee, a broader organizing committee. The co-members in terms of the co-founders,
right,
are Frances Purcell and Pat Adams,
right,
and then they brought in others of us,
right,
including myself, on this committee to brainstorm and to take responsibility for different areas, okay, in terms of the public relations, the networking, but Frances, she plays a part in everything, I would tell you that right now.
Well,
but there are other, she's always working and supporting and doing a part. But there are different members in various committees, and I'm in particular, I function in public relations and promotions, okay, assisting there along with other members such as Mr. Michael Vincent and Mr. Kennedy Phillip and others as well. You
graduated, you went to school in Grenada?
That's the thing about this committee. This, although it is celebrating and focusing on the graduates of the 70s, is very much an inclusive endeavor. We engage and those who graduated maybe even later to come and be a part of it.
So you didn't graduate in Grenada? Oh.
No, I graduated in the 80s.
Where?
In Grenada, from St. David's Secondary. St. David's
really?
Catholic Secondary, yes.
I didn't know you go to school in Grenada. But anyhow, that's another story.
Yeah.
But it's good to know that. Okay. You in the 80s, all right.
And as Frances was saying, it's about fun, the reunion aspect of it, bringing these people together. But it's not just about fun, it's about giving back. Mm-hmm. And that is why she started talking about what we are doing with the primary schools.
Well, which is what I want to come back to. The Read Across Grenada, as my thoughts come back to me now. The Read Across Grenada is one of the initiatives.
Yeah, we have two academic initiatives. Paving a Path Forward,
which is
a mentorship program that's going to be launched on July 31st.
Okay. And that entails what?
We have asked the principals of the secondary schools to each identify 10 students. We have 23 secondary schools existing on the island presently. And we've asked each one to identify 20 students based on need and effort. Need and effort. Mm-hmm. And those 230 kids are going to be paired with reunion registrants in the launching of that mentorship program.
Okay.
And there are even persons who may not be able to make the reunion or to attend the reunion who have expressed a dying interest in mentoring a child or two. So these
So like a big brother, big sister?
Big brother, big sister, that's correct.
Okay.
So that program is going to be launched on the 31st, July 31st, which is going to be the official opening day of that reunion.
Okay.
And so these kids are going to be meeting their mentors for the first time. And interestingly, 5 out of those kids would be presenting at a public forum. And the topic on that forum is going to be We Are From Grenada, If You Please, which is going to be focusing on famous Grenada people who were either born in Grenada or are of Grenada parentage.
Okay.
So those 6 kids are going to be presenting.
Now, where
on
in
6
Grenada?
persons.
Where in Grenada will that be? Will that take place?
This event is going to be held at Spice Basket.
Okay. So, I mean, I haven't been home
In
a
the
while.
parish of St.
That
George's.
in St. Parish of St. George's in the village of Bolio.
Okay.
So that we're going to have, it's going to be quite an evening, this official opening, because we're going to start, we'll be starting off with a public forum. Then the mentors are going to be meeting their mentees for the first time in a social setting with a cocktail reception.
Right.
Then we are going to be honoring the principles of the 1970s.
Really?
Yes, and recognizing the current principles.
Okay.
And for those principals who have passed on, we will be giving a plaque to the school
In memoriam.
in memoriam of that
famous.
principle.
That principle.
Yes.
Like Cresswell Julian in
Right,
SAS.
exactly.
That was my principle.
Yes, that's your principal from SAS.
Right.
And we'll be topping off that evening with a cultural presentation entertaining these young people in our mentorship program, and of course, the alumni.
So, okay. We're talking, okay, that's the 31st.
That's the
since you're going down,
31st.
the initiative 1, mentorship program.
Right,
2, Read Across Grenada.
right. We started in the middle. You noticed that?
Yes, that's
Right.
not a problem.
That's not a problem. We'll go back. We'll go back.
We're going back and forth.
Yes.
The initiative, the Read Across Grenada initiative, for me, that's the hook right there.
Yes.
Okay. My exposure to books and libraries and things of that nature, writing, etc., is kind of close to my heart.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit partial towards that. What do you want to accomplish out of the Read Across Grenada?
Okay. So, as I said before, the first thing that we want to accomplish out of this is that we want to get our kids to love to read and to want to learn and love to learn once more. Because I think our kids are losing that fire in their belly to want to read and read and read. So that's the first thing. And that Read Across Grenada Day is going to be a Read mobile library tour going through the tri-island state of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So in Petit Martin as well as in Carriacou?
As well as Carriacou. We are going to be making 1 stop in Carriacou, 1 stop in Petit Martinique, and 6 throughout the mainland.
No, well, let's be clear now. We ain't driving across, we ain't driving to Petit Martin.
No, we are not driving. Okay?
There's a ferry.
There's a ferry.
There's
Okay.
a ferry.
All right, just making sure.
So people are going to be responsible for managing the events at the particular
At
stops.
locations.
Yes,
Okay.
at the particular stops.
Okay.
So as I said, we're going to have 6 stops in Grenada, 1 in Carriacou and 1 in Petit Martinique.
And the idea people will be going to those sites or those locations?
Yes, we're going to have the kids for one of the things that I forgot, and let me mention it now. Each one of our 56 primary schools on the island have been asked to choose 20 kids. Again, our magic word is needy.
Right.
Based on need and effort.
And effort.
Yes.
Effort as in activities that the children are participating in?
Academic and
Performance.
social,
In the classroom.
and so,
In the
yes,
classroom.
in the classrooms.
Volunteering, community work and so forth?
Yes, it's in its entirety.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So they have selected those 20 kids already.
Okay.
And they have passed on that to us.
Okay.
They've also, we wanted them to be an integral part of the selection of books. So they've sent us, we created a wish list on Amazon.com.
Talk about that.
Okay, so we created a wish list on Amazon.com. We picked a number of books that we think would be appropriate for the kids from kindergarten up through age 12, which is in Grenada, grade 5 or 6. And we sent out emails to our friends and our colleagues, asking them to get onto the site and buy 2 books or 3 books. You know, my line has been do without Starbucks coffee for a week and you can buy 3 or 4 books. And the books are relatively inexpensive, ranging from $1 to, I think the most expensive book is $6.99.
So far, what has been the reaction?
Unbelievable.
Really?
Yes, unbelievable. I mean, people have just been so receptive to the idea of purchasing these books and sending them to us in preparation for the shipping to the final destination, Grenada.
Right.
And what we will be doing, as a matter of fact, an alumni of Wesley College has pledged. He is a businessman in the North America, and he's pledged 5,000 books.
Straight up.
5,000 books, straight off the back. So that's going to be in addition to the books that we're raising. So each school would be receiving 100 books.
How do you select which books go to where? Or how do you know what books to give to?
Well, as I said earlier, we've asked the principals to have some level of input into the books that they would like to see. Yes, they've given us an idea as to the books that they would like to see their children read. Yes.
Go back to the need again.
Yes. So we're going to be packaging these books in boxes of 100. So in essence, the principals are going to be starting small libraries in their schools with those books.
Okay.
So in the Read Across Grenada Day, we're going to have a nice program. We've invited radio personalities, television personalities, the strong readers from the secondary schools to join us, and we're going to be meeting at these locations. We're going to be treating the kids to some snacks and a little luncheon, some jokes, you know, and we're going to be presenting these kids with a bag, and each one of these kids would get in that bag a dictionary, school supplies, pens, pencil, rulers, erasers, notebooks, basic stuff, and a book.
Okay.
In addition,
a reading book.
A reading book, in addition to the books that's going to be donated to their school. Yes.
So each child goes away with a book.
Each child goes.
Is there any competition, say, among the readers as who could read best? I know there's a group in Carriacou that has a reading competition every year that I think it's Dover, and they give out prizes and so forth. Is there anything like that for the best?
Not at this trip, not at this time around. Okay. That would definitely be something that we would think about in the future. Because as I said, and I keep saying, once that Alumni Week is wrapped up on August 5th, and we return to North America and England and Switzerland and Germany, we'll be in high gear to set up those libraries. And our goal is to have a library set up in each parish, one in Carriacou.
Not in each school?
Each parish.
Okay.
Yes. A library in each parish.
Public library?
Yes.
Okay.
A library in Carriacou and a library in Petit Martinique.
Okay.
So that's our goal. Okay. So we are going to be working like crazy to accomplish that, and I'm confident that we will get there.